Are you alright? You're not still groggy from that kick to the head? It seems you aren't quite with it yet. Can you see how many fingers I'm holding up? Hello? Are you so groggy you can't see my fingers? Don't worry, I aimed my kick to make sure that it wouldn't get you anywhere fatal for a non-Uma. I suppose my fingers are covered by my sleeve. Oh dear, what a shame. What a shame. Actually, I was holding up 4 fingers. I was going to make the joke of, oh no, that's my thumb there, silly, so it can't be 5. You ruined my plans, you know. You better not do that again, my dear guinea pig. I don't have 6 fingers on one hand. Although, perhaps more toes on my feet would help me run better. I suppose we'll have to pencil that in for another day. Right now, we have a very important experiment to conduct. Though I will have to admit, I've already been studying the subject already. 3-star sparks. Well, of course, my dear guinea pig. How on earth could I possibly give you anything less? After all, these experiments need to be done with the utmost care. I do have 2 hands, but I'm only holding one up, see? Well, you seem to have come around better than I expected. Perhaps I didn't put enough of the dosage in. Or give you high enough of a dosage. It's good that I managed to get you here so fast. If you'd have woken up en route, dearie me, that would have been an issue. The more toes, the more balance you have. Imagine a foot with toes all around it. You'd have to get a wider shoe and, well, change the design of the shoe entirely, but it could work. You never know. If a grey cat can lean forward so far and still run fast as she does, I'm sure there will be enough space on the track for a slightly wider foot. The fish lady? She's dead. I'm kidding. There was no need to kill any fish or ladies. I actually don't know who you're talking about. Did you have an odd dream on the way over, my dear guinea pig? Is it possible that you dreamt of a half-fish, half-lady creature? Was it in the typical mermaid way, or was it the head of a fish on a pair of human legs? I wonder how fast they would run. Is it alright if you lie down? Well, I was planning to strap you to a surgical table anyway, so sure, be my guest, go right ahead. It makes my job oh so much easier. In fact, while you're at it, why don't you strap yourself down? Hungry for chimera? I've heard of them in myths. Never seen one, though. Didn't think there was a food called chimera either. Well, if I find any, if today's experiments go well, I'll give you one so you can cook it. Strapping away. Careful, you'll make it sound naughty. I'm surprised you haven't asked what we're doing here, considering we were just on the field. Well, for you it would have been... I don't know really how much you'd consider time passing. You were unconscious after all. But it's been a while. Can I give a brick legs? I've never tried before. I wonder how fast a brick person would run compared to an Uma. I suppose that's another experiment I'll have to jot away for later. You've given me such good ideas today, my dear guinea pig. Rest? I'm afraid you won't be resting tonight, my dear guinea pig. We have lots and lots of stuff to get through. What are we doing here? Finally! Your sense of awareness is absolutely horrible, my dear guinea pig. Makes me worried if I hadn't kidnapped you. You would have been caught up in some kind of scheme all on your own, and that wouldn't have been any good. No one else is willing to be my experiment partner. Without you, I don't know what I'd do. Oh, I'm afraid this isn't the infirmary. This is a extra lab I've been building for myself. Since we started winning all those races, I've been able to afford more equipment. However, the school wouldn't let me build one in plain sight. So I decided to make an underground lab, just a little away from campus. At least, a little away in running speed of an Uma. I'm not sure how far it would be for you. Unfortunately, I'm not interested in fish, guinea pig. I'm interested in you. Even though your attention seems to be wavering. What have you been thinking recently? Trying to take on more Umas? Become the trainer of new talents? If you go away, how am I meant to conduct my experiments? How are we meant to be a winning team? Going to be arrested? Well, I don't think the police will find us. I don't have any plans in letting you go. The world will think you simply disappeared. Perhaps they'll think you've run off with that new girl you were looking at. Still in love? I suppose it would be fitting with her name for the two of you to run away together. I managed to leave a note in her dorm, alluding to that fact. Am I giving you a lobotomy? Well, if I have to, I may. Though, You do seem to already be a bit brain dead from trying to leave me. But for now, there are 2 experiments we need to run. One is to make sure that you do not want to go with that. Oh no, I need to be polite to other Umas. That other darling's still in love, and that those affections you held towards her are transferred towards me. Of course, the chemicals in brains are a lot more complex than, say, the muscles in the back of the leg. So it's taken me a while to understand the complexities, hence why I've allowed you to play around with her for so long. But now, I'm finally at a point where I am confident you will not be able to resist any experiments. I have plenty of drugs, workouts, even some videos. I've never been one for hypnotism, but, well, never hurts to try, right? Don't underestimate my intelligence. I can be smarter than you think. Also, don't overestimate it. I can be stupid too. Just don't estimate it. My darling guinea pig, I had no hope in you already. You don't need to worry about me estimating. What kind of drugs? All kinds, really. I've got drugs I've made into pills. I can pop these into your mouth. I even decided to mess around with the flavors. Since you've been so kind as to cook for me recently, I thought perhaps I could do the same to you. And on the other hand, I've got some that remain in glass vials. Lovely liquids of different viscosities. Some of these go in your eyes, some down your throat, some up your behind. But they all should work. Or at the very least, one should. At the end of the day, I don't really care how many drugs I have to pump you full of. It's no different from our usual experimentation routine after all. I just need one that works. Is my research approved by ethics committee? You really thought I'd care about the ethics committee? My dear guinea pig, you are so naive. If I'm not going to ask you for permission to experiment on you, why would I contact the proper authorities? Even the ones that I was conducting at the school, I only got away with doing them in public because the principal was fine with it. President? What? Oh dear, maybe I got a bit of that sleep-inducing drug inside me as well. My mind's a bit groggy. Do we have one that tastes like liver failure? I don't know. Perhaps we should try it now. Let's see. We have a brown one, a green one, a red one, a purple one, a blue one. Here we go. I found a pink one, a yellow one. I think that is it. Yes, that appears to be it. I made quite a variance of them. I made some for myself as well, though these don't have the effects I was talking about. They just taste nice. Then also, as I said, we have the liquid one here. Also a couple more vials if you'll be patient for a moment. Have one here. Have this one here. And one more. This stupid piece of lab equipment. Would it keep tripping me over? Have one more. Well, there goes half the lab. Here it is. One more. Here. This is the one that goes in your eye. It's quite a lot thicker than the rest, but unfortunately its effects aren't nearly as potent if you drink it or have it up the rear. Have a headache? But we haven't even started yet. Or perhaps it's the adverse effect of the drug I gave you to bring you here. Oh dear, let me make a note of that. Now, dear, I do feel the need to specify that the liquid ones are to remove your feelings towards still love, and the harder ones are there to to transfer those feelings towards myself. As they say, the way to a person's heart is through their stomach. So I think it's all worked out well, no? Flintstone gummies? No, they don't offer those in the UK. In this version of the Uma world, all the Umas are British. Have you tried to put water into acid vial? I have not, because my studies have been focused on biology, not on chemistry. I've only bothered to learn more about it today, well, for today, because I wanted to make absolutely sure that you weren't going to be able to leave still in love with still in love. God, that makes that sentence hard to say. Why would she be called that? Her parents have just made this entire situation incredibly awkward. God, some Umas, I didn't even bother to check if her parents were humans or Umas. Just lobotomize me, it's easier. But then the experiments won't be as fun, my guinea pig. I can hardly get accurate results if you can't even think for yourself, can I? You need to put yourself in my shoes. Sure, I could end all this nonsense with a lobotomy nice and quick and sharp. Well, I don't think you're meant to use sharp equipment, but, it gets the work done faster, though I would have to deal with brain hemorrhage, but that's beside the point. But, I lost my train of thought. Give me 1 second to go over my notes. Ah yes, if you were unable to think for yourself, then I wouldn't be able to shower you with the attention needed for experiments. I want to be able to record all the details accurately, and for that, I would need you to be functional. Also, I don't want to clean up any blood. I've never performed a lobotomy myself. Unfortunately, they are illegal. Though saying that, so is the rest of this, so... Now, I am going to move you to the surgical table. I will move the chair up ever so slightly so you won't choke when there's liquid or food going down your throat. But after that, I need you to stay incredibly still. I don't want to break out the syringe. That would be awkward. I haven't washed any of them, and I don't want to give you an infection. Who knows what effects an infection would have on any of the drugs I'm giving you. Functional is a tall order. Functional for you. I don't have that high hopes for you, but you know what I mean. Inconspicuous chair in the corner. That's my chair. You think I'm going to let you sit on my chair after what you've done? Once you're behaving and you love me properly, then I will let you on the chair. Okay? You want the chair, you have to behave. You want the chair, you have to love me. That is the rules of the chair. Otherwise, it's mine and mine alone. Understood? Start struggling like crazy for fun? Really? Come now, there's no point. You are going to ingest these drugs whether you like it or not. I do not want to risk any issues occurring with me having to stab you with a needle, an unwashed needle, one that is going to put a drug in you that is going to make you groggy and confused and potentially fuck up the effects of the drugs I have planned to use. I can lobotomize it. I'm cool with... You don't barely know her. You've been training her consistently for the past month. Don't lie to me. The chair isn't shocky, it's a massage chair. I installed it partly because I wanted to be comfortable while writing my notes, but also because I wanted to make sure that my legs remained in good condition. Well, one of the harder drugs does taste quite sweet. One of them tastes like chicken. For some reason, every time I tried to change the flavour, it just got more and more Kentucky Fried flavour. Hormone therapy. Well, that's what these drugs should do. It's a temporary measure. I'm just hoping that through the use of these drugs, even if it falls for a little while, you'll come to realize that you love me more than still in love. Again, her name is incredibly irritating. What are your opinions on drug use in sports? Well, I believe we should be able to enhance ourselves to the best version possible, but I would rather not be disqualified from the use of banned substances. If they don't permanently change the DNA, then it's a bit pointless, isn't it? Because you can't train in that state. Why are we still bringing up the fish, and why is it married to a colonel? Is it a military fish? Was it at war? I feel like we need to focus on other things currently. I am right here. If I have to go and slay a fish for you to pay attention to me, I will. If it's married to a colonel, I am worried about incurring the wrath of the army. Is it the fish army? Is there a fish colonel? I don't care about how OP other horses are. All that matters is that I am the one in your heart. Even after I am old and grey and can no longer run as I wish. As long as I'm in your heart, I think I'll be satisfied. My brain is still kind of groggy from the meds. I really need to look into the effects these meds are having. If they're able to allow you to have such bizarre dreams. Maybe I did mess up the dosage, but in the other way. But then that would imply that your metabolism is incredibly fast. I suppose that would line up with previous data, but still not enough to draw a conclusive end. I haven't even given you any drugs yet. You can't spit anything at me like a pea shooter. What you're doing right now is just going tu. You look very pathetic at the minute, okay? Do I need to go and deal with a goodie as well? I've already had to make that still in love disappear. It's hard work getting rid of a fellow Uma, you know? Especially one as strong as still in love. I suppose if there's one thing good about her name, it is the implication of strength in love. I certainly felt quite strong when I was carrying you on your back over here. Of course, there's a fish army. Where do you think they go after school? Is that meant to be a pun? Are you trying to distract me with puns? Hokte? Again, no drugs in you yet. I'm honestly considering starting with the one that goes in your eyes, just so you stop this nonsense. See, I accidentally broke off the lid of this one. So it is a little loose. Loosey-goosey, as one would say. My top speed? That depends on how well you train me. I could be a Bakshin, or I could be a Haru. Make a choice. Now, are you ready for me to put this into your eyes? I believe we've joked around long enough. As if that will stop us? Well, I'm afraid it will. I don't think you have mouths in your eye ducts, do you? Eye ducts. Quack, quack. Symboli Rudolph. Not even the student council president can stop me now. Just resting while I wait to be drugged and fall in love. My opinions on Goldship, incredibly talented runner, messes with my equipment a bit too often. Well, we all love Haru dearly. Even I, who'd rather focus her attention on you, can't deny she has a special place in the hearts of people. And when people worship you, then you do certainly seem to run faster. However, she's never been a talented racer. That much is an unfortunate fact that I think even she is aware of. I'm just stating facts. No digs. Joking? I don't know a Joking, but I know Jemama. No more homemade cooking for you? That's a shame. I've got your homemade cooking right here. I was so busy getting ready for this afternoon. It's afternoon, by the way. Well, more evening night that I completely forgot to have lunch. I feel bad considering you went out your way to cook it for me, but not really. But I'm having it now since you won't be able to cook me dinner, so in a way it works out. Do I like Yuri? Have you been to Tracing Academy? If I didn't like Yuri, I would have burst into flames. Have you seen Tokai Teo and Major McQueen? Have you seen them? Have you seen them? If I weren't so interested in racing, I'd be studying how the two of them aren't canonically a couple. Fucking shareholders. Darling, there will always be the tiniest gap between your eyes where the liquid can seep in and get inside of you. It's not her slander, I'm just stating facts. I love the girl. I don't have a daughter, but I'm assuming you're referring to Scarlet Daiwa? Yes, again, if I were not so interested in the study of racing, I would be studying how the two of them somehow haven't destroyed the school with their sexual tension. Do I like yaoi? I don't know enough men. In fact, I don't know any men. It's very hard to meet men when you go to an all-Uma academy. Well, then I'll just hold your head still, in which case I will start right now, because I don't want to waste a second more. So before you have a chance to close your eyes, alright, that should be enough. This one, like I said, is a bit thick, so it's a bit viscous. It might make your eyes sting a little, but it does smell quite nice, so really all I've done is perfumed your eyes. Oh, that's more of the glasses, oh dear. Some of the trainers are men, yes, but there's also a fair handful of female trainers as well. And also, let's be honest with ourselves, none of them really interact that much. Occasionally you get the rivalry, but that's because of the two Umas. They train. They'll be like, oh, my Uma beat yours in a race, ha ha ha, that'll be it. I genuinely have not seen two men talk longer than 5 minutes. No shaking your head, my dear guinea pig. After all, it's going to seep in now or later. You'll get tired at some point. I'll be able to get it all in then. So what's the point of resisting now? All you're doing is wasting resources. House MD. I have never heard of such a man, but if he's a doctor, perhaps I should check him out. Maybe he has some scientific theories that would be able to help me. Oh, that went down a bit hard. Sorry, let me have a drink before we move on to the next attempt. Actually, I completely forgot to record whether or not that worked. It was the weakest of the bunch, so I was a little worried it wouldn't. Though I could always double up to see if that works. Does my love drug have any side effects? Well, this is the anti-love drug. This will target that bit of your brain that specifically has someone in mind when you release all the dopamine serotonins when you think of them. And they return that source, that memory, or memories, into a place that releases negative hormones. I didn't bother looking into them because, well, as long as the drug does the trick, why should I bother remembering the names? All I need to know are the chemicals that when you are released will make you fall in love with me. And because you're trying to shake some out, I'm going to apply a few more. Get a bit more liquid. And There we go. And to make sure you don't try to shake this out. Head held still. Okay, my dear guinea pig. You've only had one so far. Only one. And now that they've got into your eyes, I'm wondering how you feel when you think of still in love. Because if you're still feeling happy or affection towards her when she crosses your mind, then I suppose we'll have to move on to the next one. We'll just fall asleep, no feedback. Then I'll just have to move on through every single drug I have. This next one is a spray. It's meant to go up the nose. It's like those when you get a flu shot, it's just like right up there. Though, you know, it burns. Yes, it's meant to. Well, not meant to, but it is a side effect, since you were asking about them earlier. These drugs taste like chicken nuggets. I have not given you any of the edible ones yet. What do you want about? Indifferent, I guess? I suppose that's better than affection, but... Oh, she's awesome. You little liar. Alright, then I suppose that means we do have to move on to the next drug. This cap is so finicky. Why will it not stay on? It's like it's got a mind of its own. No matter. It should still work fine. Alright, are you ready? Your first... You have fur... What? By fur, do you mean... hair, or do you have some other fur that I'm not aware about? She's the best. Well, here we go. Here's the next one because you're being so insistent. That one is the one that goes up your nose, as I said. It's quite... Oh gosh, it really is strong in smell. I thought I managed to get it down, but it's even worse now. Gosh. Perhaps the time stewing in the bottle made it worse. Ugh. Oh, it's all in my mouth. Oh, it's all in my mouth. Oh, why was I leaning so close when I did that? And you worried the combination might have side effects? What they do, I'll simply counter them. I need to make sure at least one of these things works. So if you accidentally turn into an Uma, then we'll sort it out. Will it hurt if I pull your tail? Would it hurt if I pulled your arm? Would it hurt if I pulled your leg? Would it hurt if I pulled your ears? I feel like the answer to that will make sense as the answer to what you've asked me. I'm suffocating myself. That's not possible. You're a human. You don't have that ability. You need to make me sandwiches more often, my dear guinea pig. This sandwich is absolutely divine. No, you're not going to be able to make any for me for a while because you went and did all this mess. Caused all this mess, whatever. I don't know what a femboy is. You don't have a sense of smell? Well, honestly, that's probably a good thing. You really do not want to smell this. On which note, I need to apply a bit more. What I got in the sandwich? Tomato and cheese. It's pizza. I'm talking about pizza. But still, pizza sandwiches, they need to become more of a thing. I know there's a thing called a calzone, but at the same time it's like cheese, tomato, bread, smush 2 slices together, you get a pizza. Again, I don't know that many men. I don't know the subdivisions of men, boys, male, whatever. Anyway, coming in with the next nasal spray, my darling guinea pig. Oh, my nose is going to hate me for this, as is my mouth, as is everything. You know what, give me 1 second. I'm going to stand back a bit further. Alright. I'm as far away as I can be. Going to try it again now. Alright. Your vision's blurring. Let me just double dose on this and then we'll sort that out. Oh, I was not far away enough again. Blasted. Oh, you've got a bit on your... everywhere. That was not the best execution I could have done. 1 second, let me clean it off. There we go, your face is cleaner. Let me get this blasted lid back on. For the love of... why does this never... I'm not buying from this bottle manufacturer again. I swear to... Ah! You on? No, you're not. Finally! Why does the label on the spray say neurotoxin? I don't know, I just bought a bunch of random bottles from a random manufacturer. Once you're in love with me, as you should be, then we can find a proper manufacturer together, I suppose. Going to off myself rather than us, you know? I'm not trying to kill you. I'm trying to transfer your love towards Still in Love to me, because Still in Love is a stupid name. Mucinex? What the heck is Mucinex? 1 second. I've not given you a cough serum. This is a make you lose your feelings towards Still in Love serum, which I should probably make a name for. You feel it? Please elaborate. I have not taken my notes yet for this round. Tell me, what do you mean by weird? Do you mean as in you want to drop kick Still in Love in the face? Or weird as in you still aren't feeling any change in your emotions and therefore they aren't working weird? It's not one of the ones you have to push down to twist off. It's one of the ones where you have to push down so hard you think you're going to break the bottle. Otherwise it doesn't stick on. I hope you're not in a portal. I don't want to be transported somewhere. That's going to highly negative advertisement on the test and stuff. God, that spray is right in my mouth. It is throwing me up immensely. Again, I've said before, no, it is not an opioid. However, even if it were, I'm not going to bother contacting any authorities. Again, I've never done so in any case. Why would I start doing it now? Like, is it hotter than usual? Hotter than usual. Perhaps that's your body starting to react to it. Maybe once we're done with the rest of them, we'll be able to finally see some progress. I did assume that perhaps I would have to go through all the levels of these drugs just to make sure that it worked. Can we be friends instead and talk about yaoi all day? No, I want to be your lover. You're already trainer in Uma, but still you seem to prefer still in love, despite the fact that I have been around for much, much longer. I've been around since the beginning. She's only just appeared on the scene. What? A month, 2 months ago? Should fear the NHS more than the police. I fear nothing, but these drugs not working and this experiment failing. Oh, apparently one of you died to the neurotoxin. I mean, it wasn't a neurotoxin, but apparently you guys had you had an allergy. There you go. That's how we're writing you out of this. Goodbye. You want to embrace me? You haven't even got that far yet. This is a fantastic news. If this next one, I'm still going through with the rest of them, just to be on the safe side. I don't even know who Milky Ray is. Who the heck is Milky Ray? Well, she's next on the hit list. Alright, this one here. So I ran out of containers to use because I wasn't washing them. So I managed to find a sterilized plastic bottle. I was as confused as you are, but it worked. And it hasn't caused any issues with the liquid inside. And honestly, the spouted head is going to work a lot better in the long run because, well, this is the one that goes up the rear. It's a femboy. I thought that was a woman. Oh my god, really is top tier femboy. Now, ugh. Alright, now this one is I'm gonna have to get under. I'm only going to do this one once, because quite frankly, I'd rather be staring at your face than anything else. You feel like going out for dinner with me? Buy some new lab equipment on the way back? My, you really know how to get to my heart. Thank you. I will definitely take you up on that offer when I let you out. Though that will be for a while. Need to make these effects permanent after all. Now, are you ready? Are you ready for what's to come? Well, we can worry about femboys, yaoi, and all that blah 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 later, alright? What matters right here, right now, is this. Are you ready? Alright, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Alright, accurate. I seem to have got all of it out at once, so double dosage is done. Thank you for not clenching then. That would have, well, would have made it easier to stay still, but also would have been a bit more harder to just get it in there, if you know. Who's funding your research since you can afford this many test subjects? I only have you, my dear guinea pig, and I don't even pay for you. You're free labor. I feel like we discussed this. It was part of the deal for me to becoming your Uma. And yet, despite the fact you begged so much for me, you seem to have forgotten all about me. I have no reference for that, but as long as it didn't feel too intrusive, well, lucky for you. The one that goes up there has already been done, so the fact you didn't feel it means that I have been quite gentle indeed, in which case I applaud myself. Pat myself on the back. Mamma mia. Gosh, that musical's been stuck in my head ever since Digital watched it. I don't know why. She always watches something Uma related, but apparently another Uma recommended it to her, so I suppose if it's recommended by another Uma, she doesn't see any issues with it. Well, how are you feeling now? I understand you might have a bit of a stomachache. That particular drug, the adverse effects could go so far as to make you develop a third stomach. I'm not sure if it's a large one or a small one, but it caused you to develop a third one. I need a few more drinks for this? No, that could ruin the effects of the drug, so no. A brick pats her on the back, then disappears. You know what? I'll take it. Now, we have one more liquid one to go through. This one is orally, and then we can move on to the rest of the oral ones. I think, as I said earlier, I made some for myself, though only flavor-wise. And that means I will be able to eat them along with you. And if you try to spit them out, I will be putting my hand over your mouth and forcing you to swallow. I'll also be putting my fingers around your nose, so you have no air supply whatsoever. That's how they force people to swallow, fun fact. So, you have no choice but to swallow, as you're desperately gulping for air. And I'm sure that desperate face of yours is absolutely darling, my dear guinea pig. However, for now, just try to comply at least a little bit. Since when do I have a second one? About 5 months ago. Did I not mention the effects back then? Of that drug then? Perhaps I should get an x-ray. Well, it wouldn't be an x-ray machine, would it? Some form of machine, whichever it is, to check your intestines. Haven't been able to afford that equipment so far. It's annoying. A giant oh dear, it seems you started hallucinating. That is not good. Now, it's not how we make people swallow drugs, since many consider it unethical. Well, it's how I do it, because it's the easiest thing to do with 2 hands. Also, the addition of the, my long sleeves tends to make others panic. It makes them gulp faster, even when they're trying to resist. It's quite nice. I feel like someone's been messing with my calendar, keeping me busy and away from you. My, that is an issue. I'm no good with technology, but I'm sure there's some Uma out here who'd be good with it. I can see if anyone's been hacking into your files. Or maybe it's still in love. Adding stuff in so you'll train with her longer. It makes sense considering how far you've been away from me, and for so long as well. Exactly, what ethics? What even are ethics, really? Just a self-imposed moral code by those who think they are superior, when really all they do are get in the way of scientific progress. Since when do I wear school uniform? I mean, my uniform is underneath this lab coat. If you never noticed it before, you never noticed it before. Now we have the final drug, liquid one, that we will be taking orally. Let me just tick off the rest of them. I took notes, I didn't even cross off the other ones. Alright. Eye drops, check. Nasal spray, check. Rear one, check. Now this one is to be taken orally, as I said. A few quick sips and we're done. Alright? Now that you're sat up, you are comfortably strapped in. I think you're strapped in. I just realized I never checked if you were strapped in. Well, I've heard your chains clinking, so that should be good enough. Vodka. No, I'm not going to make you drink, my fellow Uma. I'm just going to make you drink this is the thinnest of the liquids. You would think it'd be the nasal spray, considering it's practically air, but this actually, surprisingly, is a thinner, lower viscosity. Sorry, this one requires me to tap it a little bit. It needs a bit of disturbance in order to make sure that all its components are properly mixed together. Do I chug it? I mean, you can chug it if you want. I could chug. I have a drink I'm going to have as well because my throat is a bit parched, but if you wish to chug it, then all means. By all means. We go. If you're ready, my dear guinea pig, on the count of 3. 3. Oh, yes, reverse 3. 3, 2, 1. Chug. Side effects? A bit late to ask after you've already drank the thing, but I suppose the most worrying side effects is that, well, mine just goes down like a regular drink because it is a regular drink, but for you, your throat will either feel incredibly scratchy or incredibly dry. There is a slim chance nothing happens, but it is slim. Something smoothing about the clinking sound. I can do a bit more if you'd like. Do you prefer it slow? Why does it taste like petrol? I didn't bother trying to make sure this one tasted alright, so perhaps that's the reason why. Would you prefer these clinking a bit faster? Or was it more this clinking sound you were talking about? Cough. Ah, you're coughing quite a bit there. I see you got the dry version. Of course you can give me a hug. That means that the drugs are definitely working. Do you accept ransom for our freedom? No, I don't. The only thing coming out of tonight is not any deals, any financial gain, or whatever you were going to offer me in a deal, or ransom. Only thing coming out of tonight is you switching your feelings for still in love towards me, in which case we should now finally be done with all the drugs. And now your affection should be fully pointed towards me. Alright, I guess I like you or something, Barker. Your attempts to remain... Love you, please leave me alone. Well, you will now. Oop, I've got one of them in my sleeve. What's out now? I need a drink? You just had like 4. Admittedly, only one actually down your throat, but... You'll be getting some food now, so the natural spit that will go down with it should soothe your throat. Now, as I said before, we have brown, blue, pink, purple, red, green, and yellow. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different types of oral harder drugs for you to try. Pills. Let's just call them pills, 'cause that's what they are. They're pills. You can't love me enough yet, though. We need to make sure all these pills are taken to make it permanent. Well, as much as permanent as I can. More semi-permanent, like hair dye. You love still in love, I'm aware. But you won't be having affection towards her much longer. It will all be turned towards me. No, this isn't a doctor's office. This is an underground lab that I built myself. I'm worried some of the equipment isn't wired up right, so maybe stay away from the other half of the room if I let you out. Ah. Well, I see you've got it over the floor, but you know what, it's fine, it's just a side effect. We can write that down. And that's that. Agnes walked so a bay could run. You can't walk anyway, you're strapped down to a surgical table. There's no one outside. Quite frankly, I don't know if anybody's ever going to find the entrance to this place. I'm going to be with you, I think I've lost it myself. I didn't bother making a map of this place. It's quite large, as you can see, from the fact it's an endless abyss of darkness, but yeah. Well, it doesn't matter. We have enough food to keep us going nutritionally. You want the red one first? Are you going to patent your research? Maybe, if we ever need the money, but right now, I just want to save it for us. Well, I suppose red is the color of love, so we may as well start with it. Are you ready? Right. 3, 2, 1, down the hatch. I didn't think candle wax could taste this good. I mean, it's still got a bit of that weird candly taste, but there's like a little subtle undercurrent. Can you tell what it is? I'm not quite sure. Are we lost forever? I'm sure we'll find it somewhere if we just pat our hands along the walls and ceiling and floor. It's somewhere. It's somewhere. I don't know who this Natalia person is. My name is Agnes Tachyon. Have you really forgotten me already? You're already roped into an experiment. I don't know what you think trying to use Whataburger as an excuse will be. Also, I'm afraid you're in the land of... I was about to say red, white, and blue, but that's America as well. You're in the land of tea and crumpets. This is tea and crumpet Umaverse. So, Whataburger doesn't exist here. Well, don't spit it out. You need it. Alright, that was the red one. We are now down to brown, blue, pink, purple, green, yellow. You're scared? Well, you don't need to be scared if you comply. Makes everything so much easier. You've done a lot worse than just simply take pills for me. Nothing new. This is British? Well, yes, this is British Umaverse. Welcome to the British Umaverse. We have a lot of British Umas here. Perhaps one day we'll have British Haru, British Oguri Cab, British Symboli Rudolph, British Still in Love. But first and foremost, you get me. Coming up. Oh dear, you seem to be hallucinating quite a bit. I'll have to mark that down. I'm running out of ink. Oh no, I'm not. No, I'm not. It was just a dud moment on the pen. Anyway, as I was saying, we have brown, blue, pink, purple, green, yellow. I've arranged them in the way it looks like a little scientific thing. Now if I push it a bit this way, now it looks like a question mark. Oh, that's so cute. If I saw the red one, I could make a little dot at the end too. Like I said, this is the British Umaverse. I'm just gonna deal with it, I suppose. Do I watch anime? I don't watch anime on the regular. It distracts me from my experiments, so it's basically pointless. But Agnes Digital does. Well, specifically ones about Umas. She likes this one called Pretty Derby. Do a Scott Agnes? I mean, I can try it. Honestly, it sounds a bit more Irish than Scottish. It sounds like a mix between the two. But, you know. That's all you're getting. Just to keep you nice and happy during the experiment, so there's no negative effects from negative emotions. I don't know, I feel like let's maybe not discuss that. I understand you're in a bit of a panic right now, but let's maybe not go that far. You're not in love, it's called obsession. Well, I like to think I am. After all, the chemicals that release are the same as the ones that are present in love, so surely I must be. The yellow one. Alright, let's try the yellow one. 3, 2, 1. Down the hatch. Unsurprisingly, it's quite citrusy. I do remember I tried to keep a color taste theme going. Though also there's an odd taste of vinegar. I'm not sure how that's happened, but well, if it works, it works. I can't let you leave that quickly. You could be lying to me. Of Discord? Well, I don't, because I don't want you contacting the outside world. But for some reason, there does appear to be a link that I could share for some kind of Discord. I doubt you can join it, but yeah. The shadows are always touching you, dear. My dear guinea pig. Anyway, there's the Discord link thing that you were talking about. Alright, that's the yellow one finished. We are now down to purple, green, brown, pink, blue. Which pill would you like to take next? You're being so well behaved. Well done, my dear guinea pig. I would say get him some melatonins. I feel bad having him run around the place. He could ruin some of the lab equipment. That would not be good. And also hurt yourself, but I could always fix that. Blue. Alright, we'll go next to the blue. I had a bit of yellow left in my mouth after all. 1 second. Right, now we will try the blue. 3, 2, 1. Ah. Ooh, this tastes like seawater. I mean, it's absolutely horrible. There's no way I would have been able to fix this taste, no matter how much I tried. Honestly, I feel like I might have made it worse. So it does start to grow on you a little bit. How interesting. Salty though? Very salty. Look at the tears of my enemies. Not that I have any, it's just a line that I find quite interesting. Can we have matcha too? We do have a green one that I attempted to make taste like matcha. This green one should help calm you down now, and relieve any hallucinogenic side effects that the other earlier liquid drugs had. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. Didn't break that one quite right. 1 second. Ah! Sweet matcha. I mean, usually it's better when I have my quadruple espresso in one. Takes far less time away from my experiments, so. And I must admit, it still tastes quite lovely. I want to savor this one in my mouth for a little bit longer. Ah, so lovely. My dear guinea pig. How delicious this one is. I feel colors, I can taste pictures. Oh dear. Will Mike and Ike's taste funny? Manhattan said to stop making things that might poison the other chosen students again. Oh, don't worry, they won't be trying it, you will. So she has nothing to fear, since you're not a student, you're a trainer. Everything works out in the end. Sorry, just making sure that your chains are properly secure. I'll give you a hug in due time, but for now you still need to stay still while we get through the last 3 of the pills. We now have the purple, the pink, and the brown one. So tell me, which one would you like? Let me make some notes in the meantime. There's a difference to your complexion that I think is quite interesting. It's nothing massive, but it should be recorded. I can smell the cosmos? Well, hopefully the next few pills will get rid of that, because I'm not sure I want you smelling cosmos. Sweet angel, take me. Oh, appear you've passed out. Purple? Alright, purple it is. This one should revert your senses to normal levels, not the way they should have been before. They will still be quite enhanced, which means you'll be able to see me better, but don't drop them, they don't want them dirty. But yeah, this should change your senses to be normal, but above average normal kind of way. Right, 3, 2, 1. You can't walk out because of chains. Right, well, we're in the middle of trying this next pill too. My. This one's... Have you had a Parma Violet? I tried one when I was younger and it has no taste but also sweet. It's odd. What happened? Well, your senses are back to normal now, and from the Looks of you screaming, you seem to be back awake. Which means you're just in time for the last two of our pills. Do we want to have second to last be brown or second to last be pink? Now this should now be the point where the chemicals in your brain will start to reactivate, but instead of being towards still in love, the emotions will be towards me. Ah, yes. There's no one left for you to be still in love with. Only me. Only Tachyon. My everything is pain, but the cough syrup tastes kind of good. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad you're enjoying the flavor. Screaming. Maybe try not to scream. After all, you'll hurt your throat and you still need to swallow. Brown and pink, alright, there we go. Alright, this one's quite similar to the colour of my hair. Perhaps you'll taste me while you eat it. This time, I want you to tell me the flavour. Okay? Break it nice and evenly into 4, and then 3, 2, 1, and go. This should, well, unfortunately in theory, but heavily supported by evidence in theory, solidify the effects of the last pill. Well, are you going to tell me what you think of the taste? Or even what the taste is? You somehow feel calm. How lovely. That's the best thing to be. Is that how it tastes? Like hair mixed with chocolate? Oh wow, I wonder how that could have possibly happened. Rice crackers? That's quite different profiles. I have no emotions now. That is not what I was going for. Well, here we go. This last pill will have an influx of emotion for you. This pink pill, all those suppressed emotions you felt towards someone insignificant, will now come racing forth towards me, and then we'll be done. Are you ready for it? Are you ready for the start of a whole new life of experiments? The way things should have remained. My dear guinea pig, let's jump in together. Let us race forth into love. Break in half. Break in another half. And 3, 2, 1. You know, I think I said another one of the pills before was sweet, but this is definitely the sweetest one. If you're having issues, don't worry. There's nothing to worry about. It just means that all the drug effects are finally setting in. All side effects should be gone. And soon, you'll be perfectly as you should be. You don't ever want to leave my side. Good. Good. Never leave my side now, alright? You had your fun gallivanting around with another Uma. So, are you ready to stay experimenting with me forever? You're in heaven. I'm so happy to hear that, my dear guinea pig. Now, I am afraid to say that there is still one tiny little side effect I forgot to mention. Let's wash down these pills and fake pills, what I was eating, for a second before I tell you. I know you did only just wake up momentarily ago, but I'm afraid you will be passing out again shortly. The side effects are quite ruthless in that regard. So, I'll have to say goodbye until you wake up, and then we'll see if they've had any permanence. If not, well, we're just in for another round of them, aren't we? Hopefully they won't make you forget today. Otherwise, we'll have to keep doing this again and again and again. Think I'm in heaven, the prick got wings and robes. Well, think of that dear brick as you close your eyes and start to dream of me instead. My dear guinea pig, you must fantasize about all the experimenting we're going to do together, alright? Are you ready to fall asleep? Because you're going to be gone in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sleep well, my dear guinea pig. Of course I'll still be here when you wake up. I'll wake you up with a lovely hug. There will be some interesting things to do with our next experiment. But for now, sweet dreams of me, my dear guinea pig.